Shiny Pokémon, they're rare, special, and they sparkle. While over the years they've definitely become easier to come by, it can't be denied the excitement finding one still brings. Shiny hunting was something I did heaps of, particularly during Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which is eons ago now. But anyway, I want to talk about them, the good shinies anyway, so let's go ahead and get to the top 10. To start things off is Obstagoon. The bright pink and cyan is a wild combination that honestly kind of works. It's a very fun and pretty playful combination which to me suits Obstagoon. Even with the American heavy metal rock band Kiss inspiration. And as far as I'm aware anyway, this is a color combination you don't see very often on other Pokemon in general, which helps it to further be more of a standout. Even categorizing it as a pink shiny, I feel like it would still be quite unique in that group. I could definitely imagine a flashy pop or rock star having this as their stage partner. Next up is Galarian Rapidash. While not anything bold, there is still a magical and fairy tale quality that this shiny gives, which differs a little from its normal colors. The main change, now to a light green and yellow mane and tail, gives it a more ethereal and mythological feel. This lines up very well with its unicorn origins. These colors also give it a slightly more forest appearance, like it could be a protector and guide. This shiny also has a more delicate look compared to its normal colors, which are more vibrant and so make for an interesting contrast. The shiny colours remind me a lot actually of the holo in Terraria, which is fabulously appreciated. Moving on now to Tyrantrum, it has a fantastic combination of blue and grey. These colours pop amazingly. The head crest in particular could be thought of as like a crown, so a deep royal blue feels very fitting. Even though the grey acts more like an accent, it still catches attention without overpowering the blue. The colouring overall really does make him feel like he would be king of the fossils. The colouring also gives him an Arctic look, as if having been able to adapt and better deal with the cold and ice in general, which I find interesting as an idea. The blue and grey, compared to red and orange, also gives a calmer look, which can also tie into the king idea. So even as a fossil, this is a shiny that can never be lost to time. Next is Toedscruel, and this is a very bold shiny. Even just a change from yellow to pink makes a huge difference. I love the contrast that comes from this and the black. It makes for a very fun and striking look. Black overall is a versatile color that almost anything goes with, and this is a wonderful example. The pink in particular looks almost acidic with how strong the shade is. Regular Toedscruel's colors gives an earthier feel, which makes sense given its mushroom origins. Meanwhile, the shiny colors make it appear almost toxic or dangerous on at least some level. Even though wood ear mushrooms, which is what the design is mainly based on, are for the most part harmless, and is something which are commonly eaten. But all in all, with colours like those, it's one that can't be missed. Next is Caesar. I'm normally not a fan of bright green shinies, since I don't think that type of shade complements or suits most Pokemon nicely, but this is definitely an exception. While the red on regular Caesar is fantastic, the green used for the shiny version works well and suits its insect design while still looking unique. And the metal texture it has had since Scarlet and Violet only makes it better. It's vibrant but natural looking, as if it were living out and acting well camouflaged in a jungle environment. And even if unintentional, it also acts as a loose reference to Scyther and Mantises, which partially make up its origin. This adds another nice little layer to the shiny, so overall, this is a green shiny that works great. Moving on now to Sliverwing, it has a beautiful contrast of blue and yellow, similar to Shiny Volcarona. But I like this on Sliverwing a bit more, since overall it has a fierce look, as if it was born from the sun. While Unova Volcarona looks slightly sleeker and elegant, like it uses its abilities from and because of the sun instead of purely being made by it. The yellow is a piercing shade with an almost glowing effect, especially around the wings, which is a lovely detail and works well with its aggressive looking design and being a prehistoric Pokemon. And the blue body that isn't covered by fur gives a nice contrast and depth. If another warm color was used instead, the shiny might have then looked a little flat. So in general, this is just a striking shiny that's as radiant as the sun. To continue on is Vikavolt. The shiny features a fantastic combination of silver and lime green, with the green working great at catching attention even as an accent color. These colors pair together to create a very sleek and futuristic feel, as if the Pokemon is more machine than organic, almost like a future Paradox Pokemon. The silver areas make parts of its body look like a protective metal shell, which also plays into the idea. It also makes Vikavolt feel a bit more dynamic and faster, which makes sense given its Pokédex entries like the Sun version, which mention that it zips around, even though its base speed is 43. But either way, this again feels like another color combination that's less common, which also helps in making it seem even more special. And number 3 is Magnetric. With a strong yellow and black that can't go wrong, they make for a lasting impression that complements each other beautifully and fits well with the electric typing. The shiny colors give it some extra edge, making it appear a bit more intimidating and wolf-like, which suits it even if not based on wolves specifically. The black makes it look like it could have been made from a roaring thundercloud, which is a great detail since multiple of its Pokédex entries mentions that it creates overhead thunderclouds to drop lightning bolts as a way of attacking. This was also a shiny I happened to get in Omega Ruby using the Dex Nav. He even came with a hidden ability, which makes it extra special to me. I had gotten him about 5 years ago now, and wow, time is something. Following as a runner-up is Spiritomb. Even just at a glance, it's an incredibly beautiful shiny. With light blue and purple, the colours contrast very nicely. It also gives a slightly eerie look, which goes well with its ghost typing. It may also be a small thing, but I like how the stone also gets lighter. The colouring also seems quite unique, giving a mythical and spiritual feel, as if being a Pokemon with a particular story or history, which it does, as it seems to take inspirations from Jubakure, who are spirits bound to a particular place and unable to move on. The relevance of 108 could also be a Buddhist reference, involving ringing a bell 108 times on New Year's Eve in order to repel 108 temptations and reach nirvana. This was also a shiny I found in Omega Ruby, though this one was randomly while I was breeding for a Spiritomb to use for online battles, so it was very lucky finding such a shiny. And at number 1 is Suicune. While not a drastically different shiny, it's still incredibly gorgeous, and the changes that do occur still say a lot. Its body turns a slightly lighter blue, and the mane turns from purple to a deep blue. This colouring still gives it a sleek and very pure feeling, which goes well with its said embodiment of water, being able to walk on and purify if polluted. It also gives an icy feeling, which is a nice detail because of its connection to northern winds, and can be thought of as like a reference to auroras, as they can appear blue. It would be amazing though to see an aurora in person, because they seem like such a magical and beautiful thing. And this was a shiny I had randomly found in Soul Silver, who is now transferred to Black too, and it would probably be my favorite shiny that I have for its coloring and the randomness of finding it. And with that is the end of my list. I hope you enjoyed this video and my choices. And feel free to comment your personal favorites and any stories that you might have that goes with them. But this is it from me now, so have a wonderful day and bye-bye!